Lights, camera, action. Join the stream team with Strick and Brant and be a part of the Stream Network. Our goal is really simple. We're here to help you succeed.
We live? Yeah. Strick City. Woo! Strick City. All over the world.
Strick City, man, we live. Yo, Strick City on the ride. Yo, look like surprise. Yo, taking your city like we live. Yo, man, we live. Yo, taking your city like surprise. Yo, on the ride. Yo, Strick City coming live. Yo. Whoop.
Hey, man, you got me. It is your boy, DJ Strick, and we are live. Thank you so very much for being a part of the show tonight. I got some guests. They are ready to come on, but before we actually get started, I need you to do something for me. Can you please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Every time I go live, guess what? You will know about it, and we can be together. Hey, man, I got tons of stuff coming up, and we got some surprises coming for you for the end of the year with Strick City Live. I've been working, and I think you will appreciate it. But more importantly, I want to get right into the conversation tonight. They've already had their own personal live show, and I have both the Vals on Strick City Live, and I'm so excited about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the conversation. I have both of them here, Val and Val, Valton Johnson and Val Jones, Valerie Jones. Thank you so very much for being a part of the show tonight.
Well, thank you for having us, brother. Thank you for having us.
Most definitely. Glad to be here. Hey, we on Strick City Live. This big for us.
Oh man, let me say this. You guys are big, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing with your show. Now it's called the Val and Val Show, right. But art is a conversation is art. Is that kind of like a subtitle to the show? Tell me about it.
It's actually the lead is Conversation is Art, the Val and Val Show.
Got you.
Right. And it derived from the not necessarily political platform. That's where we were initially housed. And when Lonnie gave us permission to just sort of break this thing out, Valerie took it and she got us a jingle. She got the logo going. She made this thing her own, but she just let me be a part of it. That's what it is.
I get it, and I understand. So I have a connection with both you guys, and I'm going to explain this to my audience. And I want to start with Valton. So when I was doing really heavy into doing Strick City, Valton called me to do a youth event at the church, and we met, about 20 years ago. I had to have been like 12 or 13 years old at the time when you called me.
Yeah, I think it was about 20 years. You were 13, I was 15.
Right.
Yeah, but that program you're talking about is Youth on Fire.
Exactly.
And, yeah. And you and Prophet and LP were very instrumental in making that thing jump. Man, we had kids from all denominations, black, white, whatever, and they came in and praised the Lord. And our hook line was off the holy hook.
Love it.
For Christ. Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah. So that's how we met. And I want to tell you this. I never forget or have never forgot anybody that called our ministry, because there were so many people that were close to our style of ministry. Mm-hmm. So the people that had opened doors and wanted us to come in, we tried to do all that we could to support them. And again, I'll say years later, thank you for allowing us to be a part of what you were doing to impact some young people here in the city, man.
Praise the Lord, man. It wasn't me. It was God in me, bro.
There you go. And I have inherited Valerie Jones. So I'm actually one of the assistant pastors at New Rising Star Church here in Birmingham. And Val is a member there. She was actually, at one point, she was over our health and wellness ministry. And now she's doing our small groups ministry. And I have to work hand in hand with her. And I said I inherited. I love working with Valerie Jones. So when you guys started this show, I wanted to do what I could to support, and I know it keeps going and going and going. I didn't want to really another month to go by and not add my support to what you guys were doing from the visual standpoint of the show, and also I also believe my marketing and putting those flyers out there go a long way too. So to have you guys on the show and have some of my marketing out there, people can see, hey, they were on Strick City Live. It may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but it means a lot to me that you guys would take the time and come hang out with me.
Well, it means a lot to us as well to be invited. Thank you for the invitation, and thank you for all that you're doing, not only for us but for the city as a whole. Because the stuff that you were doing years ago, those were seeds that were planted.
Right.
And now we are seeing those seeds become what they are now. And we're thankful for that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for saying that. God gave me ministry just a little bit different than most. Like, I can't help it. He just gave it to me differently. All I'm trying to do is be faithful with that difference, not to be, my claim to fame is just to be unique. No, my passion and how I give it is the way God gave it to me. And I wanted to share it with some people. So a lot of people that, we ministered to during that time Strick City was going, like, they're married with children right now, and still making an impact because of the seed we sowed with them when they were younger. So that's what I get joy out of, running into young people all over the city that we had an opportunity to make an impact with. Right. And I'm making an impact now with Valerie Jones, because she is, Valerie is a go-getter.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she is a go-getter. Like, if you ask her to do something, it's going to be done. It's done. It's going to be done and excellent. And she's waiting on you. Like, hey, I'm waiting on you. It's like, I just got through telling you what I want, and give me a chance to figure out. That's really what. Yeah, so.
Did you get a text message or email and everything?
Right.
You know what's strict, though? I was raised that way. My mom was like, if you're going to do something, you need to do it wholeheartedly. Don't half do it. So that's just in my blood. That's in my DNA on both sides from both my parents. It's just, if I accept a task to do something, I'm in it. I'm committed to it to the end. And I will text you, email you, and phone call you, and all that to get it done.
So for me, that makes it work for me. Like, I love working with people that are great administrators and people that know how to get stuff done. Because I'm one of those kind of folks that I have like 20 million things on my plate. And I just have a lot to do. So when I got somebody that knows how to say, hey, I need you to do A, B, C, D, guess what? I can stop what I'm doing, do what they need to do, and then go on to the next thing. Right. That being said, I wanted to go ahead and set the scene. You guys have a show. Tell us about Conversation is Art, the Val and Val Show. Give us the details behind what you guys are doing.
Okay, so what happens with Conversation is Art, we contact through our booking agent, Carter Law, all the artists that are in the pool. And there are many from Canada to Florida, all over. And Carter books these folk, and they come on our show, and we'll talk to them about what they are doing. What we try to do is give them a platform during this pandemic that they did not have.
Gotcha.
Because what we want to do is make sure people still connect with the public. When you got an artist who is shut down because of the pandemic, some people were getting depressed. They were earning their monies by playing in front of crowds. Now they're not. So we bring people on, we give them this platform, we put the music out there, and we ask folk to actually contribute to their Cash App.
Wow.
Because it's important for them to be able to still pay their light bill, even though they're not performing. But they can perform live or via CD on the platform that we provide.
Man, that's awesome.
And Valerie and I, we've been doing it now for a year. We actually ran this thing, from September, and didn't meet. We did not know one another at all.
Until February.
February of this year. Yep.
Wow, I don't know if I want to say that's good or I'm sorry, Valton. I don't know what to say.
But we actually met at a function that Lonnie Malone was having.
Okay.
And since Lonnie put us together, back in September, our chemistry it just clicked.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And,
awesome.
And let me just fill in some of that. Valton had actually done 2 shows before I joined. And I kind of said, your gifts and talents make room for you. I have been talking about, and the Strick, I have been talking about doing a podcast
You have,
myself with another ministry that God has birthed in me, which I will be doing later. But I had said, Lord, I really would like to get with someone that's doing this so I could get some experience in everything. So, all the stuff we had last year with COVID and then the
Right.
racial injustice and the murder of George Floyd. We had some things break off in Birmingham when the Woolworth, changed their dress code, and people couldn't understand why people said it was a racist directed toward Black people. So I actually got invited by one of Lonnie's friends to come on to support her to be on the show. Lonnie was doing on Not Necessarily Political.
Okay.
And he had an idea for 2 females to do this, but she changed her mind. And then he had Valton, so he was like, Valerie, do you want to try this with Valton? And I was like, oh yeah, let's do this.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And it just worked out.
And it just worked out. Man, that is awesome. And sometimes, what I like about what you guys are doing, number one, how it all came about in the beginning. And it started during the pandemic where most people were, not doing so well. Like a lot of people did not have a great experience during the pandemic. Some people couldn't figure out, how to get their lives together or what they could do because you had to pivot, you had to change. So even myself, like this show was something that I wanted to do for a long time, but now I had a little bit of extra time at home. Let's turn the camera on and make some content and inspire some people right from my home. Like I'm sorry, I'm spoiled now. Like I don't want to meet anybody. Like
know, right?
I'll send you the link. We could talk Zoom or something. Like this is the best thing ever. Like no travel time.
Right.
I have to. I'm saving on gas, all of that, because I could just go to my base and be all over the world. I've had an opportunity to get a brand deal because of this. Other people were supporting my show because I just got out there. And there's some more things that are coming down the pipe that I can't announce now that God has just been blessing because I've been out front. That being said, you guys have some things that you are announcing, some things that's going on. And let's see, Val, I know you talked about your podcast that you're working on. Can you tell me about some other things that you, Valerie Jones, some other things that you're working on as you're working on the show too?
Yes, one of the things we did, we started out with the artists because they didn't have a platform during the pandemic.
Let me say this. Let me interrupt here,
Okay.
Val. You know me, and I let this go earlier about you guys allowing artists to come up to the show. I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm a great singer,
Right.
and people know how well I sing.
Yeah.
They every time I sing, people. The response that they make is like, I can't believe that this sound is coming from that young man. I know where my gift is, but I haven't been invited to come to the platform and share. I'm just asking.
We're thinking about bringing you on around Thanksgiving. So he's going to be on He's going to be on Thanksgiving, the Thursday of Thanksgiving. We won't have a show then, though, will we?
That's funny. That's funny. It is funny that I would be talking to you about singing and vocals or whatever, and you have ever since I met you, I'm like, man, this guy has the perfect radio voice of all time.
He does. I call him the voice. And it's funny how you mentioned that, Strick. When I actually, after we met and we talked, I actually sent him a text. I said, have you ever considered doing voiceovers? Because I didn't know that about him. And then he sent me back his link telling me that he already was. I was like, your voice is just beautiful.
Oh, yeah. It's golden. It's golden. It's golden. You got to tell the truth. You just tell the truth, shame the devil. Like, if somebody's gifted, you got to go on and tell them you're gifted. Yeah. That's what people do to me. It's like, Strick, man, like your voice. And I'm like, yeah, of course it's my voice.
You know what?
Right, right.
He would be the praise and worship leader, but we just didn't want to task him anymore since he has so much to be responsible for at church. We hired somebody so that we would not exhaust his voice.
You know what really it is? I tell people this all the time. I didn't want the praise and worship team at our church to not be in the spirit, like for the spirit of jealousy to be on the team because I was singing. So I take the back seat to them so they can usher the people in. You know what I'm saying?
Humility.
Right.
That's humility.
I am.
It really is.
That's me though. That's what I would do for people.
That's wonderful. You're so humble.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, continue on what I was talking about coming.
Yes, ma'am.
The things we have coming. We want to branch now, not so much just with artists. We are also looking at entrepreneurs, period. If they are author, writing books, of course, my co-host, Valton. A lot of people don't know he's written a screenplay, which was to be a play, but it ended up now being moved into a movie with a series, which he's working on. So we want to showcase definitely people in our area as well as countrywide or even nationwide of what they're doing. Because I'm sure, like you, Strick, you got to start back, recording some content during COVID. I think a lot of people tapped into things that they had in their minds or had put on the back burner and say,
Right.
what, this time. And I tell people, if you didn't come up with something during the time when we were in lockdown, you cannot use the excuse that I didn't have
It's
enough
no excuses.
time.
It's no excuses at
No
that
excuse.
point. There's no excuse.
No excuse.
And I made the mistake that I hope people don't make. I did a whole bunch of stuff. Like my plate was so full, it was ridiculous. And it's still too full to manage. But I know at some point, one of those things, several of them have already, moved to a second level and manifested.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had manifested with the deal with the show, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know about this Valton, help us go through the timeline. Val started it, but help us go through the timeline of you doing the stage play, and then turns out to be a show, then you're shooting a series for a TV show. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, actually, the timeline, it's like this. 15 years ago, I had an opportunity to preach at a church in Sylacauga. And I took out 1 Thessalonians 4:13, where it says, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. In order for that to happen, we must be kin to Christ. If we look at Jude 9, it says, and yet Michael, while fighting with Satan over the body of Moses had died, but the archangel Michael showed up, as did Satan. They were fighting over his body because they thought they both were the next of kin. As it is when we die, someone must show up as our next of kin.
Right.
So the play that was derived from these passages of scripture was entitled Next of Kin. Well, I tried to get someone to pick it up, very well-known writer, and he didn't want to have anything to do with it. So I set that thing on the shelf for 10 years, and the Lord said, hey, listen, he is not the only one I've given talent to. Get it off the shelf and get it done.
Wow.
So, Doc, we got that thing off the shelf, dusted it off, start practicing to go to the stage in April. Dr. Canelo and John Eppinger, Pastor Eppinger, was going to allow us to use 6th Avenue Baptist Church to have the play in April of last year. Well, the pandemic shut that down. So I said, okay, Lord, this is my punishment for not doing what you asked me to do. He said, no, what you wrote 15 years ago, the world wasn't ready for. Shoot it as a screenplay. Shoot it as a movie now. I shot that thing December through February. Rod Newman was the director. And we sent it. Martell Holt, Lover Marriage Huntsville, saw it, sent it to OWN. They sent it over to Go Media over in Atlanta. The CEOs of Go Media contacted me in early March, asked me to pitch them on the matter of the movie. And I told them I had a hotshot lawyer who was married and had a girlfriend. Oh, we already seen that. And I said, yeah, but this cat also got a boyfriend. They said, Mr. Johnson, we're ready to make you an offer right now.
That's crazy.
And that's how that happened.
Wow.
Yeah. So if anybody's out there listening who is sitting on something God has impregnated with you,
Come on, tell them.
Impregnated you with, go ahead and give birth, because you got to give birth now. Get in a birthing position so that you can give birth. You got to get that out of you. God put it in you, get it out.
You want them to actually get in that birthing position? Like
you have to get in the birthing position.
Come on now.
Your birth.
Come on. You know? So I want to stay in this vein before I start getting funny, man. So I want to stay in this vein because this is very serious what you're doing. And we want to inspire some people with this. I mean, you started with just a play, a sermon.
Yeah.
And now it is a series that people will be able to watch on a network.
Exactly. So we're shooting series episodes 2 through 5, November through February.
Okay.
We're making deals right now. My producers over in Georgia are making deals with some major networks right now to see who wants to buy it.
Wow.
Who wants to buy the rights to it. And we got 5 people lined up right now, and I'm talking about major folk.
Well, I'll buy the rights to it, but I don't really have like a major budget, you know. But
yeah, well, when I say major folks, I mean something like a Peacock or Tubi.
Ooh, love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about.
Hey, let's look at this intro, this trailer that you have, so people can get an idea. So teaser. This is a teaser. I'm gonna play the teaser for this, and let me see if I can get this up on the screen here for us to take a look at. There we go.
Indeed, I have a word from on high. Who's your next of kin? But I do not want you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning those who have fallen asleep, lest you sorrow as others who have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so God will bring with him those who sleep in Jesus. Indeed, those who sleep in Christ Jesus will be awakened one day, and we are to be caught up in the clouds.
Man, that's what's up, dude.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you.
That's really cool.
Well, thank you. We shot that in Birmingham, actually, and we're shooting everything in Birmingham and Columbia.
Man, I'm so proud of you, man. Like, I'm just so proud of you. I didn't know about this. This is my real first time actually seeing this, and a lot of times, Valton and Valerie, I believe God is making a slight shift in the city of Birmingham. If we will allow him to make some moves, of course, we have somebody like Pastor Mike Jr. that has broken through a national scene like we've never seen in recent years in Birmingham. You know, of course, we've got a Ricky Smiley that's doing some national stuff, and he broke through the scene. He went away to do that and came back, but Mike Jr. is right here. Preaching, and is now on a national scene. And now we have you that have this show that's going to come out on a major network right here in Birmingham, filming in the area. And I don't know if you grew up here, but you've been here for a long time, because I've known you for a long time. I think this is awesome.
Well, thank you. So, yes, I did grow up here in Birmingham. And I must say this. If I had stayed with the vein of next of kin, it was going to pigeonhole me.
Gotcha.
So the Lord spoke and said, hey, break out, widening it, broadening it. So what I did was I took my wife's middle name, her name is Lashery Dundrell, and made it Welcome to Dundrell Heights, like a general hospital. Anything can happen in Dundrell Heights.
Wow.
And that's how this whole thing is going to expand. So we have these 6 episodes that we have to get done by March, and then they're already talking about season 2.
That's awesome, man.
I haven't even thought about writing season 2, but they told me last week, we want you to go ahead and position for writing season 2.
So and I guess this is kind of going over my head, Valton. Like, you are writing the screenplays for this, or you kind of write it out and then send it to somebody that writes the screenplay? How does that work?
No, sir. Well, I like to use the term download.
Okay.
So when I write sermons, I generally get into a mode where the Lord is just giving me information and my hand is just moving.
I
I
love
have to
it.
go back and read what he gives me. And that's what's happening with this. I'm being very methodical about how I'm thinking through it, but I'm
Uh-huh.
also being downloaded information that he's given me to put in this thing.
I like it.
Yeah. So I'm doing all the writing, and I take it to Rod Newman and O-Hits Production, and
Uh-huh.
we pitch it into a form that is reasonable for um, what do we call it? It's not necessarily screenwriting, but it's however whatever term he uses. But we have to make it ready for cinematography purposes.
I got
That's
you.
what it is. So it has to be written for cinematography, and that's what we do. We sit in a room and we figure this thing out, and we make it happen.
Man,
So
that's
that's what we have
awesome.
to do. Yeah, it's really cool.
And
I'm
it's
glad
really
to
cool
use
that you be using Rod Newman. That one of the guys that did a lot of ministry work with me. That is
Right,
well
right.
trained. I think he actually has a degree in that. So
Yep, out of Valor. That's right.
So
From
so it's
Valor.
cool that you guys are working together. I love collaboration. I love the collaboration of the Val and Val Show. I think
Yeah.
if you find people that you have great chemistry with, that you can work
Mm-hmm.
with, and you can do content that can impact folks and encourage people,
Mm-hmm.
man, you got it taken care of, man. I really, really love that. I've always tried to collaborate with people, and I think I said this earlier because of my connection with Valerie at the church, and then that I know you, man. I really want to help support and promote other content creators because that's what you guys are. I mean,
Right,
people don't
right.
call it that now. You'll be a writer, a director, executive producer of your own show, but also a host of a talk show. We can call it a virtual talk show, and you're creating content. And right now, and I do believe that as we go forward, this is the medium. Like being content creators is the medium that is going to finance the rest of what it's going to be the highest money maker. So people are going to be like, I want to be a doctor. Their kids is going to graduate saying, man, I want to be a YouTuber.
Right. Influencer.
I want to be an influencer,
Right.
I want to be a TikToker. I mean, come on, they're becoming, not only are they becoming famous, but they're also becoming rich because of those
Absolutely.
platforms.
Yeah, my granddaughter, she's 10, and she's already talking about doing TikTok stuff. I mean, and she has someone who's actually taking an interest in her.
Wow.
And my daughter and this young lady are meeting to make sure that Chloe gets where she needs to be.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Valerie? Did I hold on just one second? I knew that was gonna happen. I had a little feedback, and I knew that was gonna happen as far as me forgetting to unmute you. But I got you now.
Okay. I was saying I have a cousin named Lily in Atlanta. She's already has a YouTube podcast, and Lily is 11 or 12, and she's a dancer. And her mom and dad, they actually have a company that they launched during the pandemic
That's
called
good.
the Plug Atlanta, the Plug ATL.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. You go there, you can do your podcast, acting, and everything there.
Cool.
And
I love
so
it.
no, they have got this money, and of course the pandemic hit, and they were like, "We're gonna keep on moving, keep on moving." So, like, even with the other thing I have coming up, and I just share a little bit about that. When I got divorced, I guess like Valton, God gave me some things to download, and it was like things I wish I had known. And so I just started writing, and I wrote it probably like Valton 15 years ago. Okay. And I never could. I even found the information where I had looked when you had to go through getting a paper thing to publish and all this convoluted process. So I never got around to publishing that, and I laid it down. Well, long story short, me and my former spouse, we reunited in 2011.
Well, you can't call him your former spouse.
Well,
I
I'm
know,
saying
right?
it that way to say I said my former spouse, we reunited. So now he's back, my current spouse.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
So listen, I've been married twice to the same
To the
man.
same person.
Yeah, and so it was interestingly, my daughter was like, "Mom, you think this is what God was waiting on for you to finish that writing? It's called Consider All Things, Crucial Conversations Before I Do." And you know, long story short, it was the communication aspect. But then I started thinking about what leads to that. And God just led me to say, these are the conversations you need to have up front with people. and not necessarily you should marry them, but you can have those conversations and you all be on the same page and not. I tell people that fuzzy feeling, that look you get when they walk in the room and your heart go boom, boom, boom.
Right.
That'll leave. That'll decrease over time. So, so
If
you
your
gotta
heart
have
go boom, 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 you probably need to go see a cardiologist.
it's kind of like this. You look at them and like, oh, they're the most wonderful thing I've seen. I remember Pastor Chappelle used to say, you look over at them, they ain't so handsome now. She ain't so pretty now.
Right,
And,
right.
just to work through those things. So I've actually kind of started a little pilot group. I got a Facebook group
Mm-hmm.
with some folks that just testing out some of the content and getting their feedback with everything. I said, like, now the sky is a limit. And if
It
COVID
is.
hadn't taught us
Right,
anything,
right.
you all, life is very short.
It is.
So anything
is.
you think you want to do, and like you said, Strick, who would have thought that, YouTube, Zoom, all these platforms. And Strick, I got to give you a shout out.
Okay, I'll
And
take
thank
it.
you and thank you, because you all, this man, he's going to be modest, but he's the guru when it comes to helping you to stream live. He helped Valton and I transition from Zoom to choosing Restream is what he referred us to. Once we grow up a little bit more, we'll be doing all this fancy stuff like him. But
I know,
it's
right?
baby steps. So he's just been really supportive
Well,
with
thank
that.
you.
And,
Yeah, we appreciate you, brother.
he even have videos about it. So you all, YouTube is a university.
It is.
Free for you, unless you do a paid subscription. So just about anything you want to do, you can find a YouTube video
Right.
that would guide you. But look for Stricks first.
So I through the pandemic, once I got everything started, people were like, Strick, how did you do that? Like, it looks so good, it looks so clear, you got this great camera, you got great lights. And someone told me, Strick, you probably should be teaching some of this stuff. So not only do you make your content, but you teach people how you make your content look like it does. So I started doing that, and people can get consulting from me, Coach Strick. You can call Coach Strick, and I just kind of help you through it. And it's another thing that I do. I had to try to find time for. But more importantly, the outcome of doing it the right way to help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I just believe in helping people, and my heart is there to help folks. And it's not, it is a cost to it, but it's not like some crazy cost that basically based on what I would tell you and based on what I know it costs, that you can get some of this coaching from some of the people online. It is not expensive, but it will help you get to the next step. And there's so many steps to this that someone just telling you one or two things could really change the directory of where you're going, the direction of how you're trying to get there. Because some people would say, well, I want to look like you look, Strick, man. How much money I got to spend? And I'm going to tell you, if you're not doing it right now, I need you to just grab your phone. Like, there's no need to spend any money until you understand what you're doing, and just grab your phone, because most phones, whether it's the Android or iPhone, they're like some of the best production studios that you could ever think of. There's an app for everything that I'm doing right now. There's an app on that phone that you can actually do it with. So I'm giving tidbits right now. I shouldn't even be doing this. I'm going to have to put my Cash App out there just for giving you this information.
Go ahead, put it out there. What is it?
It's $ Strick City. It's real simple. You always give me $ Strick City, but I wanted to definitely support you guys. Valerie knows how much I care about her and what she is doing at the start to help support people. And Valton, man, I just have known you for so long, and I never forget people that have called me to use our ministry to help young folks. So for both of you guys, whatever I can do with the show, like whenever you decide you want me to come on and sing to your audience, listen, anytime I can come sing, other than that Thursday of Thanksgiving, I'm
We're
there.
gonna do a Christmas concert. How about a Christmas concert? Start practicing.
Start practicing Christmas Day.
Get with Kim and tell her to make sure she blows loudly.
Okay, so y'all can hear.
So here's what I was thinking, actually. I'm looking at the calendar. Christmas Eve is Friday the 24th.
Okay.
What if we can do a collaboration where I can be the Santa Claus. Ho, 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 ho.
I love it. He's showing off right now.
Christmas.
He's showing off.
Yeah, yeah. But we could do something like that on your show or our show or something. Just so the kids, and make it kid friendly. In the first 50 children, I'll give them a gift.
Okay.
Okay, parents, if you're listening, wherever you are, the first 50 children on Christmas Eve, if we put this thing together, I would personally give you a gift, a child-friendly gift.
There you go.
The resources to get
There
it
you
done.
go.
50
He's
children,
put
50
some
children.
stuff out there. I love it. And as long as you
Yeah.
got the microphone turned up so everybody can hear me, man, I'm good to go. I can't do the Santa Claus thing like you do, but
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll let you do one of the commercials or something. For your listening audience, I am known as the voiceover king.
that's
And
awesome.
I didn't give myself that name. I do have a website, www.yournewvoice.com. And I did all the Mayor Woodfin's campaign materials. This past
Wow,
time.
that's awesome.
And yeah. So
Hey,
the
I
Lord
like
gave me
a
the
I like a
tools,
good
so I use
I like a good competition now. I mean, you keep talking about you being the voice. I don't have a bad voice myself. Hold on one second. Oh no, hold on, Valton. Let me just do it this way. You come on my show. I'm the voice king. we
Come on my
can
show.
go. Hold on one second.
All
This
right,
is
let's go.
Let me clear my throat.
You need some water.
Get you some coffee.
That's okay. You're going to choke. You drink that Auburn cup.
Oh boy.
All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can go with it. Mom, we're going to have to wrap up with this, but give me, I can't do Santa Claus. Give me a line real quick that you could do, and I'll come right behind you.
Okay, sure. No representation is made of the quality of service provided by the quality of service of other attorneys.
Man, I can't do that. I can't even talk that
Okay.
fast.
All right. Well, let's do this then. Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
No,
Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
that was better.
Okay.
But why you looking like that, Strick?
I had to look like that so I can say it. I don't pronounce all my words right. You know what I'm saying? However it comes out, it just comes out. So let me see. This is yes, ma'am.
I want to throw something in. You talking about with the fee you charge or whatever. This is something I want to share with people. You have to make money. You have to spend money, and we have to stop wanting everything free.
Well,
That's
You
true.
know.
That's true.
Right.
Everything free, and I'm like this. Don't share what people charge you. Let me tell you why. Because sometimes you have relationships with people that other folk don't.
Mhm.
And I tell folks, you need to be prepared to pay them. And I tell people, if it's not a fair price to you, then you don't have to obtain their services. But stop looking for things free all the time.
Mhm.
Offer something. And
So
if you invest in yourself, you'll feel better. Trust me, you will.
So we have this thing called the creator economy, and basically it's a bunch of people that we're all in different groups, but we're in a similar group, so we know each other, and we share each other's posts. We celebrate each other. We're on each other's lives, commenting in the comment section to kind of boost, any kind of attention they could get online. But we're buying each other's T-shirts. It's just a circle that kind of goes on, and the people that get into the circle that are supported, and the people that get into the circle that want promotion. Like some people would just come and, hey, why don't y'all share my stuff? Well, whose event have you
Stuff are
sharing?
sharing? Right.
And it's those small things that people could do, a share, a like, a comment, a post, that can really, really go a long way. Now, when people are needing help and you want to go to the next place, all you have to do is, like for you guys, find somebody that's doing something similar to the Val and Val Show and start supporting them.
Right.
Watch their show and be in their comments. Say, hey, I love what you guys are doing. If they are a few steps ahead of you guys, like maybe, whatever you think a few steps is for where you are right now, start supporting them. I ain't saying spend a whole bunch of money with them, but, I want to get to where they are. Let me support what they're doing. And come on, man, let me be honest with you. Like, we all Christians here. These biblical principles don't go away. And I'm saying it real close to the mic, Valton, so you can hear me. These biblical principles, they don't go away.
The biblical principles don't go away, ladies.
They don't go away. They work regardless of what you're trying to do. Like, God has put these things in his book for a reason. So if you give, then it will be given unto you. So if you come to these things and say, what can I get? Like, just give it to me. I'm not going to give anything back. Guess what? The only thing you're doing is stopping your blessing. It's only so you can only go so far. Like, I promise you, some of the richest people in the world are some of the biggest givers.
So that's exactly right.
Most definitely.
And many of us think that they are givers because they are rich. No, they are rich because they are givers.
They are givers. They're givers. They can give it out.
Much like you, brother, you've always been a giver.
Well,
you've given your time, your resources to the city, to young people, and that's why God is blessing you. That seed we talked about earlier, you're evidence that it has grown, germinated and grown. Look at you now.
Look at me now. Mama, I made it. Hey, listen, let me do this really quick. Can you guys please give your contact information, people that are watching this and they want to connect with you? How can they do that?
Sure. Valerie,
okay. Yes, we can be emailed at conversationisart@gmail.com. And we're on Facebook, Conversation is Art. We're also on YouTube. It's Conversation is Art, the Val and Val Show. So if you look up either of those, we haven't started yet doing the IG and the Twitter thing yet. We gotta elevate to that.
Yeah,
we old folk, y'all.
You can still get your Instagram page. Y'all can take pictures. Y'all can be taking pictures like the like the old school pictures.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, like this film.
Right.
Yeah,
Posing.
Yeah. Well, I do have an Instagram account, but you can reach me, ladies and gentlemen. And my wife is always getting on to me because I give my number out so freely. But my phone number is 205-370-7805, 205-370-7805. You can also email me at the email address that Valerie has shared, which I can't remember at this time, but she'll tell us again.
Conversationisart@gmail.com.
So does that, Valerie, does that kind of like get on your nerves sometimes when he goes into that announcer voice, like he's showing off? Like you really know he's showing off.
I'm used to it.
I absolutely love it, Valton. I love it. I've done radio for so long, man. I remember this one time I was at the skating rink, and the guy that was at the concession stand say, this is the price. It's like, man, what are you doing at the skating rink with a voice like that? Like, man, we got to get you on radio or something. And I'm a person that can appreciate like those voices. Everybody can appreciate a good voice, but I do believe that a good voice done used the right way can really command attention. Like God blesses you with that so you can get attention. Like not just for how you look, but what you sound like. What you sound like. That will really do it. And I'm sure if I ask your wife, she says, well, he said this and it really got my attention.
Right. I tell people a lot of times it's a blessing and a curse.
I got you.
Early on in ministry, I would speak, and when I come off the platform, 4 or 5 people would be standing there.
Gotcha.
And when I get home, usually there are numbers in my jacket pocket.
I get it.
You feel me? So I had to be very cognizant and very aware of what this voice could do to hurt, harm, or to heal.
I love it. You got to be honest about it. That happens to me when I sing all the time, Valton.
I know, man. I know. People text us all the time saying, DJ Strick tore it up today. Literally, tore it up. Tore it up.
Falling out.
Like Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look,
It was slayed in the spirit.
Hey, he won't stop. Why won't he stop?
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
but really, we really need to circle back on that Christmas thing, though. Really, I feel that's something we could do for the children of Birmingham and around the world, or wherever the listeners are. And again, if we can get 50 children to tune in, it'll be an early night, so they can go to bed, so they won't get sand in their eyes, and we can make something happen very magical.
There you go. I love it when a vision is set. There you go.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so very much. If you'll hold what you got 1 second, let me wrap this up for today. I am like done with I love the fact that I can have my people come onto the show and do their thing, and you guys be witness to it. The Val and Val Show, conversation is art, is awesome. You guys please catch them on Facebook. They actually come on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, you have to check them out. I got so much more coming up for you as well. If you haven't already done this, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, Strick City 01. You guys are watching it, just hit the button and then hit the bell for notifications. So every time I go live, guess what? You will know about it. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me tonight, and I'll see you next Thursday. That's what's up.